Good question. This kind of question, it is not Malayani. It's good. Whatever that is necessary. You can take that knowledge, and that is knowledge is beneficial. So many times when we have children, and I speak to so many parents, they usually want to give their children what they don't have when they were growing up. Correct? Black, white, brown, yellow, doesn't matter. They're saying, I want to give them all these things that I missed out on when I was young. And so many, they take that to an extreme. And so many, they're only concentrating on this dunya. What they lack in this dunya, they want to give, especially people who are immigrants and they come to this country. They say, I didn't grow up with this, I didn't grow up with that, now I want to give my children this. When that is not checked, when you're not thinking and you're not understanding that, that time you begin to start putting them in a place where they should not be put. We are following tasawwuf, meaning we are cleaning our heart of everything except for Allah. Our hearts, majority, they are filled with so many things. So many people, especially when they become parents, their hearts are filled with their children. It becomes like an idol to them. You must love your children, but to make them to become the source of your happiness, the source of your faith, the source of your meaning in this world, that is putting on them certain qualities that you must reserve only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In reality, they are not your children. They are Allah's creature. Allah is a creator. What are they? They are our trust, our amanat. They don't belong to us. We didn't make them. If we understand that they're an amanat, they are a trust, and that one day we have to return that trust back to the owner, your love for your children will grow, but it is not going to overpower. Because who puts that love of your children in your heart in the beginning, in the first place? Yourself. Allah is the creator of love. He puts that love that you have for your children into your heart. And if we are not able then to understand the source of this love back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our children, then they'll become an idol, or our wives, or our husbands, or our possessions. And it will be a source of confusion for us. If we understand it is coming from Allah, and you're able to know and balance maybe, then you understand that everything that you're doing and feeling, it is coming from Allah. Your faith will increase, your love for them will also increase, but not in a way that they cannot carry, not in a way that is going to bring you disaster. So many are going to say, I want to give my children the best childhood, the best happiness that maybe I was denied. It's natural. But if you are in this Jamaat, if you're in Tariqat a little bit, then you have to question yourself. This comes with tafakkur. What is the best childhood? What does that mean? And if we are not measuring everything and filtering everything through the Holy Prophet ﷺ and through our Shaykh, if we're not doing that, then we're not really taking tasawwuf into our lives. And it's very easy. So many of us, when we see little children making zikr, we say, how we wish that we met our Shaykh when we were that young. We were making zikr and listening to sohbat and doing all these things. So now we are recalibrating what we feel the childhood should be. Not what we feel, what we think, what television is showing us, what books are showing us. Now we're trying to understand what the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying. What, his teachings is only for adults? Not for children. What about the childhood of the Ahlul Bayt? What about the childhood of the Sahabi Kiram? And there were so many Sahabis that they were children when they met the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Some of us, we know when we were growing up how Ramazan was. What makes us to love Ramazan, what makes us not to love Ramazan. None of these children that are here in our Jamaat, we force them to do anything. Did you ever hear me speak? Say all the children should be quiet, sit down, stand up, sit over there. Do you hear me saying it? Do you ever hear all the children, they must be here to make the zikr, they must be here to listen to sohbat, they must be here to pray? No. In fact, I don't like the parents to force them. Because this is the way of the heart. But who are they going to follow? The children, when they're growing up, they follow. First, they must follow you. Because you are closest to them. You're the one who spends more time with them. You already have that advantage. If you are following our Shaykh, following a good one, following the awliya Allah properly in your life, there's no problem for them. But if you're not following so much, if you're not following at all, then there is no real attraction coming from the friends of Allah. They're going to be attracted by everything else that the dunya has to offer. Now in this month of Ramazan, we have children. Teach them how to love Ramazan. You have to love Ramazan. What does Ramazan mean to you? We cannot escape from questioning ourselves. If for you Ramazan is just not eating and drinking, that's what you're going to teach your children. If Ramazan for you is something else, something more beautiful, then you must find the language to explain to them. Now you know what? Children sometimes, they don't need to understand the words. They just see you in your body language, the way that you behave, and they know whether it is good or bad. Because until they learn language, at what age? What age they start speaking, learning language? Say 4 or 5. Their entire time is just watching you and feeling whatever that you're feeling. If they see you, especially in these formative years, your relationship to Ramazan, how special, how holy, how soft the Ramazan is. How when we stay away from food and drink and our body gets a little bit tired, the heart becomes softer. When they notice that, they will start following and they will understand. Understand what the world has to offer and offer them something better. Don't go according to the world. Don't go, well, the world is offering all these things that entertains them 24 hours, so I must also give them something entertaining to them 24 hours for me to fight against the world. You don't. You cannot win, by the way. Allah has given this time to the tyrants. You cannot win. Don't play the same game. We are given something much more noble, much simpler, much more direct. Let them experience what iftar is in a group. Let them experience what giving sadaqah, because this is the month of sadaqah too. Let them experience giving. Let them experience zikr in this month. Let them experience sohbat in this month. Let them experience being able to wake up a little bit in the middle of the night to worship with you and to eat sahur. Because all of us who are raised in this religion also, those memories are very precious, no? They're very little and they're very precious. How we remember our mother used to wake us up, our grandmothers used to wake us up. We pray a little bit. We may not understand it, but years down the road, we're holding on to that so preciously. And give them good memories of this month. When they see you filled with blessings, when they see you having more rahmat and mercy, and you are pointing not to you, but to this month. This is the month of rahmat. When you see them doing something wrong, and you say, this is wrong, but because this is Ramazan and this is a month of mercy, I'm not going to punish you. But you should know that this is not good. You are pointing back to Allah and His Prophet. You're pointing back to your Shaykh, you're pointing back to that month of Ramazan. That connection now is complete. Inshallah, like that, our children, they're not going to look too far for the blessings of Ramazan. They're going to look inside. Inside, you understand? No need to go out too much also. Make it something that is special. Now, for the children, you may cook something special because they are children. And when I see children fasting, my heart goes out to them. We're not ones who are like forcing the children, you cannot do, you cannot. You go out to them, you feel sorry for them. So you try to make it a little bit extra special for them. Us, adults, what do we have? So many things that we talked about. So many things we cannot eat normally anyway. In this area, especially in this country, regular food has become something that is unhealthy for us. Flour is unhealthy, rice is unhealthy, oil is unhealthy, all the basic things. So for the adults, we should take this time to be a little bit more healthy. And to know that the appetite, it is only because of the eyes. It is only because of the eyes. If it is not because of the eyes, they're not going to have television so much. Television is only about the eyes. Try watching television, closing your eyes. You think anything there is going to have an effect on you? Nothing. And we know in this month, especially for the adults, we can give our body a little bit of a break. Try to eat a little bit healthy. Stay away from things that is going to stir up your appetites. In so many different ways of appetites. Then that time is going to be a bit easier. For the kids, give them a little something. We eat something. I mean, in the Dergah, they always prepare something. But by yourself, you must know. Don't jump into it. You say, this is enough. That way, instead of jumping into the iftar, and we feel so full, and we feel so heavy, and we don't have energy to pray. If you eat properly, which by 1, 2, 3 days, your stomach is going to get smaller anyway in the month of Ramazan. So if you eat more, that's when you're pushing yourself to eat more. Naturally, you don't have to eat so much. Then that energy is going to burn. You find yourself having more energy to worship nighttime. And that is where the rahmat more is going to come, inshallah. That way, When the kids, later when they grow up, and they remember how Ramazan was sitting with your father, with the mother, and everyone else, and their faces are clean, their faces are filled with mercy, and we're just helping each other and eating nice things. Later down the road, these are the memories that will sustain you, that will give you energy. Be the memories of your children, good ones. Be responsible, inshallah. Inshallah, may Allah make it easy. Yeah. Al-Fatiha. This much is enough, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.